Alright guys, I told you I was going to make a video for you to watch tonight, so here it is. This is what we did in class today. We reviewed Mr. Heck Tate's testimony, the fact that he didn't call a doctor and why that's a significant error on his part. We talked about Mayella's testimony, how she felt like Atticus was making fun of her, and this tells us about her character, and it should show something to the jury. We talked about Tom Robinson's testimony, and how he felt sorry for Mayella. We also talked about why this was the worst thing he could have done and why this probably sealed his fate. The jury did not want to hear that Tom Robinson, a black man, felt sorry for a white woman. If anything, it should have been the other way around. We also discussed Tom's hand and how it would have been hard for him to put the marks on her body the way they were. Alright, so here's what I want you to go over tonight. Questions for chapter 24. Why do you think the author included the missionary circle in this chapter? Are they really as nice and as friendly as you would expect a group of Christian women to be? Religion plays a big part in this book, and we want to see how these religious people maybe aren't nice just because they're Christian. Second, what does Miss Merriweather, a member of this circle, mean when she says, "At least we don't have the deceit to say to him, 'You're just as good as we are, but stay away from us'?" She's talking about Northerners versus Southerners. This right here, the people that don't have the deceit, they're the Southerners. What does she mean by that? What does the way Tom Robinson dies tell us about his character? He dies in a very specific way, trying to escape from jail and getting shot. What insight does that give us into Tom? And then finally, I'm going to leave you with a quote from the end of the chapter. And what does this quote by Aunt Alexandra tell us about the way she thinks of the town? Alright, the quote is from page 316. "I can't say I approve of everything he does, Maudie, but he's my brother, and I just want to know when this will ever end." Her voice rose. "It tears him to pieces. He doesn't show it much, but it tears him to pieces. I've seen him when... What else do they want from him, Maudie? What else?" "What does who want, Alexandra?" Miss Maudie asked. "I mean this town. They're perfectly willing to let him do what they're too afraid to do themselves. It might lose him a nickel. They're perfectly willing to let him wreck his health doing what they're afraid to do. They're... Be quiet, they'll hear you," said Miss Maudie. "Have you ever thought of it this way, Alexandra? Whether Maycomb knows it or not, we're paying the highest tribute we can pay a man. We trust him to do right. It's that simple." Who? Aunt Alexandra never knew she was echoing her 12-year-old nephew, or Jim. "The handful of people in this town who say that fair play is not marked white only. The handful of people who say a fair trial is for everybody, not just us. The handful of people with enough humility to think, when they look at a Negro, there but for the Lord's kindness am I." Alright guys, these are the questions I'll be wanting to know your reactions to tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll see you then.